I could point out all the things about how bad this life can seem, but we work hard, we making it. Forward motion on everything.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's FourWord Monday. It's your boy D-Rock, Valet Delroy. I'm glad to be back with you again here today. So week 34, another week. I got hair on my face. I'm feeling real good. It's good weather outside. It's been hot lately, so I definitely want to get on with the rest of this day. It's going to be a busy one. But it's FourWord Monday, living to be known, and you're back with me. And I'm glad that you're here because today, simple thing we're talking about is simplicity. And the main point that we want to make is simplify it, right? Simplify it. How do we simplify it? What does that mean when it comes to living to be known and our pillars and practices, right? Now, when I say pillars and practices, I mean belief, knowledge, and practice as pillars because they're principles. And then relationships, communication, and finance are practices. So these pillars and practices, or these principles that are the pillars of our practices, we're going to focus a lot more on practice these days, but definitely they're all based on our principles. So simplify it. So I just want to point out a few things or a few thoughts for now when it comes to simplifying life or our own lives or just the world around us. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Simplify it. Living to be known. Week 34. Your boy Ballet. Yeah, I love you. So when it comes to us or you or me or myself, I think about because we're still talking about relationships. How do we simplify our relationships, or how do we keep them as simple as possible so that it's less baggage in our minds and less baggage about our days? Now, for me personally, I think about things like my relationship to, of course, people, and then my relationship to businesses, and then my relationship to my things, right? Because people, businesses, and then like objects, we're talking about relationships. If you remember a few weeks ago when I started on relationships, right? So what's my relationship to my family, right? That's not very complicated. My relationship to my friends are not very complicated. My relationship to businesses, right? I buy food. I exchange money for food. I exchange money for clothing and product. I exchange money for merchandise and other things that I need. So my relationship to business and different businesses is pretty simple. And also my relationship to my money, or my relationship to the bank, right? I put it in there, they hold it, or they track it, or they invest it, or there's different things that can go on, but the simple relationship is they're looking at, okay, how do I handle my money, and I'm looking at what can they do with my money, right, or for my money, or for me in regards to my money. So really simple areas of life, like you can take and just break them down without it having to be so complicated. And if you find that there are complications, then you need to take some time to sit and lay it out and simplify it. We could talk about how later. Now, when you're a business, or if you own a business, sometimes I think, okay, how do they look at their relationships, and how do they simplify their businesses that they run in order to do them, or do them so well, or why they're not doing so well? And of course, I just wrap my head around a few things. What's the relationship of a business to their clients, or their business to their partners or their investors, or your business to your employers or your co-workers, or what is the relationship of your business to other businesses, right? It has to be simple. It has to be laid out in such a way that everybody understands what's going on, and that's what makes your business is great, right? Is when you don't have to do so much, unless you're like a lawyer, and of course you're that because you want to get all into the details and be meticulous. Now, if you are more of like an employee or a student, or you work a job, corporate, right? You're not an entrepreneur. There are plenty of great programs and information for entrepreneurs right now. I'm not ready to go directly into that, but one day, hopefully, I'll be able to share more of that with you coming up pretty soon. But let's say you're an employee or a teacher, or you work at a corporate job, right? You're gonna say like, what's What's your relationship to the principal, the students, the community, the administration, your direct boss, your coworkers, your other clients and customers and businesses that you guys do work with? I mean, life doesn't have to be so complicated. It really doesn't. And I would talk more about relationships, of course, like romantic relationships and dating, but those aren't relationships, of course. So for me, it's more like people have problems because ulterior motives and misunderstandings get in the way. But if you just come out and say what it is, who you are, it'll make it a lot easier. We have to simplify it. So, what about our principles that are pillars of our practices, right? Living to be known, belief, knowledge, practice, relationship, communication, and finance, right? Either you believe it or you don't. I think we should get rid of the whole sorta game that's in the middle. I sort of believe it, but I sort of don't, and I won't until I confirm it. Look, you need to decide up front. I believe it, I don't. At least if you're wrong, you can find out what's right. And if you're right, you can stand on that. What do you know, right? Do you know it or do you not? It's not about what you kind of know. Sometimes that gets you far, but let's simplify it. You say, no, I don't know this, or I don't know enough about this. I do know this, I do know enough about this. Simplify it. When it comes to your practice, is it something that you do or something that you don't? Sometimes, based on the situation, it kind of depends. You're making it more complicated than it needs to be. If you know what you stand on, if you know what you believe, if you know what you know, then you know what you do, then decide to do it or decide not to. Okay, stay out the middle. When it comes to your relationships, what are you and what aren't you? Are you friends? Are you lovers? Are you family? Right? Are you acquaintances? Are you strangers? Are you just two people who want to do things together? Simplify it. Okay? Define what it is and what it isn't. Right? What is the relationship? It is this. What is not the relationship? It isn't this. That whole figuring it out game where you have ulterior motives and you don't want to step on toes and hurt each other's feelings, let that go. Just like I'm about to let that phone ring. Now, communication. You should say what you mean and you should mean what you say. But also how you communicate and how you look and what you do. So what does that look like, right? When you're happy, usually it's like, oh, I'm happy. Your expression is happy. Some people are like, yeah, I'm happy. But you can't tell. Well, say what you mean what you say. Don't whatever it. Don't throw your hands up and, pick peace over truth. Pick truth over peace. Communicate that. Move forward. And then, of course, with our finances, that's always a big deal. And we're always trying to find out, how do we get a hold of our finances? It's not just I want to make a lot of money and be rich. You need to get a hold of your finances. So just a few things to think about, right? What are you saving? What are your expenses? What are you investing? What are you spending? And then what is the balance? Not all of us have free money floating. Not all of us see free money floating. Not all of us have the right mentality to understand money as an exchange and a means to an end. Okay? But take those things, right? Press rewind on this. Savings, expenses, investing, spending, balance. If you don't have those in a category, or if you aren't putting money in those categories when you're looking at your money, then you really need to rethink your life and how money is a part of your life and what and how you can use money. Okay? Don't ever say you can't. Don't ever say you don't have enough. Don't ever say, don't ever put yourself at the helms of the situation. Take control. Work hard. Move forward. Live to be known. Simplify it. And it's going to be alright. It's your boy Valet. I love y'all. I'll get at y'all this week. Got some more music coming for y'all next week. It's going to be a fun time. Check out my blog. Check out my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, YouTube, SoundCloud, and anything else you can find. I love you guys. I'll see you. Peace.
And I could point out all the things about how bad this life can seem, but we work hard, we making it. Forward motion on everything.